go. Day 2. Yesterday was baby steps, yeah. We all know that. But I have to treat it like, well, I don't even feel like I fully took baby steps. Yeah, I just asked you all how comfortable you was on a scale, and you told me, and I moved on. But I am definitely down for like chilling, not rushing, nothing. The more advanced people, they can feel free to like leave if they know exactly what I'm covering and stuff like that. So let me just break down anyway what the week got in store for us, right? So yesterday was the basics. Today, I'm going to be covering advanced market structure, right? So basically external and internal. I'm going to be covering trends, and I know, listen, kind of covered it yesterday, but I mean like proper covering trend lines now, invalid trend lines, valid ones, what I look for, how I use them, not only as, rejections and shit, use them for targets. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing actual breakout strategy work, entry and exit work, covering continuations, reversals, and range, proper covering them though, because yesterday I just showed you some slides. Day 4 will be the boring day, risk management and psychology, like the most fucking important day. And then day 5 is going to be putting it all together. So I want everyone to, by day 5, have a plan, like written up step by step. And I want you to all send me that plan, do you know what I mean? Like, I want to know by the end that everybody knows exactly how to trade. Break and retests or breakouts or fucking pullbacks, whatever you decide. Realistically, I want you to learn it all. But if you was to say, nah, I just want to choose how to break and retest trade, or I want to, this and that. I want your plan, all right? You get me? I want to help you make a plan. But I actually started out way different than what I trade now. But obviously it comes with experience. But let me just have a sip of this tea and we'll get into it, right? So I know not all of you got time to waste. I just wanted to fill up a little bit. But I won't wait too long because obviously they'll be able to rewatch it. But I hope everyone's doing good and having a good day so far. Or night, wherever you are. And we'll get into it now. And when I say advanced market structure, yeah, I'm not going to get really nerdy and techy with it. I'm just going to break down the stuff that, like, I don't really talk about on YouTube, which I do always keep in mind. But it's going to be the 550. No voice. Oh, good now. Damn, man. I hate it when people say that. Not I don't hate it that you're telling me. I need to know. But I mean, it makes me think, like, what's going on? Give it one more minute, right? One more minute. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Dennis. And I want the exact same for you, man. Exact same for you. I am not joking when I say to you all, I am not ashamed to say I fucking was out of work due to like a bad choices in life, health and stuff, whatever. I was on fucking benefits. I was on the benefit system. This year, now, I'm comfortably making thousands per week. So, come on. If I can do that shit, any of you can do that. Wait until I drop a little documentary. Wait till I'm big enough to drop a documentary. It's going to be inspiring as fuck. Failed rapper, fucking other stuff, day trader. I love it. Trust me, I love it for myself. I'm proud of myself, man. So you lot are going to be proud of yourselves too. Right, let's get into this shit. Why's my mouse being booky? Alright. We'd love to know your full story. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a fucking movie, I reckon. Little council estate boy from Wales. In with the, but I wouldn't want to say the wrong bunch because they are good people, just lost. Right, let's get it, right? This not talk some shit. Oh, let me mute my phone. No distractions, right? Actually, I can't mute my phone. I actually can't. So, you let me know, as usual, when you can see my screen, yeah? I know you can't yet. So I'm just going to try and share my my screen with you in a sec. Come on now. There we go. Oh, no. Still nothing for a sec. Bop. You see it. Let's present this shit. I hope you see it actually. Wait. I don't even know if you see it because I haven't asked. You see it, yeah? Advanced market structure. Okay, cool. I was just trying to I didn't want it full because now I can't see you lot. Ah, oh, fuck's sake. You know what? It's different to yesterday. I want to be able to see you like asking questions as well. Right. Is this fine? Can I just do it like this? Let me know if this is big enough and you can see it all. All right, yeah. Cool. I'll just do it like this. Advanced market structure, swings and internal structures. This is what I don't speak about on the YouTube, right? I just show you what I believe is structure and stuff. Market structure is how price moves in waves, all right? Waves, remember that's like a key word right now. To trade effectively, we need to understand the swings, the bigger moves, the big waves, all right? And the internal moves, the small ones. So pretty sure a lot of you do know what I'm talking about, but let's cover it anyway. So swings, external structure, swing highs, swing lows, vice versa when it is a downtrend, all right? So we know about higher highs, we know about higher lows, but I usually only show you the internal, not the external. I'm not really ever focused on the bigger picture kind of thing, but to be honest with you, it is important to know. So look at this. This is actually an indicator, just a market structure indicator that I put on. And I wanted to see, would it mark up market structure like swings the way I would have marked it up? I like to test it. I like to think, because, I don't believe an indicator is more smart than me, even though it probably is, all right? More than definitely is. But I'm not going to, put all my trust into an indicator, right? I want to know. So I looked in for, okay, for me, wait there, I might be able to draw now. Yeah, cool. I can draw. So yeah, this looks fine. This would have been it, but then obviously this wick there took that out, so that's the higher low. All right, these are swings, all right, and the internal structure will be what's inside. So it looks a little bit confusing, but these are the swings anyway. So let's just say they're the higher time frame moves. They're the waves. So I've already done that shit anyway for you, but that's basically what it is. So they're the swings. This is like the 5-minute time frame. Now obviously it's bullish. Most people would only be looking for breaks to the upside because it's bullish, but obviously we go to the 1 minute if we want. We can find flat out bearish trends in an overall bullish market, right? That's why it's important to know about higher time frames, swings, okay? And we'll go and look on the chart in a bit, but when you zoom the screen out, you can kind of see the swings. And a lot of people, they get it so like twisted and confused, and they're like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? And this is where I'm more like, fuck it, like kind of attitude. You got this. If it looks like a swing to you, you can kind of like squint your eyes, zoom it out, and say, I can kind of see the waves, all right? So number one if you're with me, number two if you're confused, all right? This is the number one. This is the external, the outside, the bigger picture, yeah? The waves. Nice. Because it'll start making sense, trust me, if it doesn't make full sense to you lot yet. But you lot are obviously pretty advanced, most of you. Because you might not think it, but I'm telling you now, knowing these things are good, like in trading, right? So it's not like none of you are stupid at all, right? Think of the swings as the waves in the market showing us the trend, right? I just said that, cool. So yeah, next. Why is it not letting me next? Internal structure inside the swings, right? So the internal structure, the smaller highs and lows inside a swing. So it's like a mini battle happening before the market decides where I want to go next, okay? I don't know why the fuck I think of these things. Sometimes my head's crazy. So here we go. 5-minute time frame. Boom. Big ass move to the downside. Pull back. Boom. 1 minute time frame. So that's why, for me, like, I see so many opportunities, and I'll show you the real stuff in a minute, but I think you all understand. There's one breakout option right now. There's only one breakout option, which is this on the 5 minute. But then, you know, this is the same exact move. This is the same exact move, right? So that's the internal, the external, okay? There we go. Like, that is literally the exact same shit. So I've already done it. One opportunity, multiple opportunities in the same exact move, mind. All right, that's why breakout trading is awesome, and we can make loads of money with it. Overall trend is bearish and making lows on the 5 minute time frame. So look, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now the next slide is going to literally be the exact same move, but the 1 minute time frame. Like, bullish structure, do you know what I mean? Being created inside of an overall bearish market. So, one, if this makes sense so far. Two, if it doesn't. I think you're going to probably, yeah. It's just trends inside of trends, right? Awesome. That's sweet. I don't want to go too fast. I feel like I rush at times. Valid trends and trading pullbacks. Here we go. Trends inside of trends, right? I'll wait for a sec as well. If anyone wants me to like slow down, really go into it. Because I'll go onto the charts. I think I'm better on trading views, showing you and stuff anyway. But these slides, putting them together at the time, they make total sense to me. But I just don't want to confuse any of you. Alright, so where we at? Do you know what's fucked up? That it's not letting me up or down the page now. Why? 13. Cool. Trends inside trends. What is a trend line? I know this is crazy, but I gotta go through it. So a trend line is not a straight line for a start. I was meant to just write a line. It's not a straight line. It can be diagonal. It can be all sorts. So I need to remedy that right now, actually. It's a line. How reliable is the 1 minute time frame inside of trends? For me, I'm only using the 5 minute and the 1 minute because the 5 minute time frame is my higher time frame. The 15 minute time frame is my higher time frame. Because I'm like a 1 minute, like I'm a real scalper. Do you know what I mean? So you could use the 1 hour. We'll go and look at some proper things in a minute, but it depends. Like, so if you got a lovely downtrend on the 1 hour time frame, I'd probably say I'd be looking for 15 minute internal structure or 5 minute internal structure, actually, you know. But if I'm on a 5 minute and that 15 minute, I'm looking for the one. So the 1 minute's obviously the most sketchy, volatile, crazy time frame to trade pairs on. But I don't really think it's about how reliable it is. Yeah, I think it's about how clean the trend is anyway. So if it's a choppy consolidating range on a 5 minute time frame, don't even bother looking for entries on the 1 minute time frame. You need to look, like, if you're going to be using multi time frame analysis, which I rarely ever use, by the way. I'm just teaching it, just so you know it. Like, you see me, I come to like one time frame, I'm like, is the 5 minute looking good or the one? Fuck it, the one's looking good. Then I get in on a break because I'm in and I'm out. But if you want to follow the trend and continue and stuff like that, then you need to know this stuff. But yeah, the 1 minute is reliable as long as the actual overall trend is looking good. So valid trend lines and trading pullbacks. So basically, you should all know that if we're in an uptrend, you draw in your trend line underneath price. Okay, so a lot of people, which I have seen in, you know, I don't even know if it's wrong or right, but I've seen people doing this, like their trend line above, right? Or a channel, that's fine. But some people genuinely put their trend lines above. For me, if you're in an uptrend, the trend line needs to be below, okay? That's the way I think is correct. And same as this, bearish trends. I wouldn't put my bearish trend line underneath. Like, I want to see it break above and change direction or carry on down and continue, right? So I hope that makes sense to you lot as well, because I remember when I first started trading, I would put I was opposite. So I was putting my trend line like underneath, and yeah, I don't know why I used to do that, but it's crazy. But yeah, for bullish trend lines, you're going to want to put it underneath. Also, I'll get into what's invalid and stuff like that, invalid as well, pretty soon. But let's just chill, relax. I think I'm rushing a bit. Right, so here we go. Bullish, bearish. Now I'm going to teach you something, right? So 2 touches is when you can actually put your trend line down. Now I know right there it isn't touching. Let me make something clear though. Like, it's a pip away from touching. I don't know why it isn't touching. I must have just been rushing this slide. But I'm telling you now that this is a touch. Like, that's valid, all right? Like, I could have pulled this line down a little bit just to make it valid, but that's okay. Also, wicks and bodies count, but it's whatever's looking cleaner. So instead of me drawing the trend line like, you know, this, and then thinking this is a break, like, you know what I mean? It's not clean. Plus, there's a certain rule. So 2 touches is when you can actually whip out a trend line and draw it, but the 3rd trend line actually confirms that it's valid. I don't know if you knew that or not. Like, press 1 if you knew this kind of rule, and 2 if you didn't. But it's kind of always been a thing, yeah. Like, 2 touches makes you able to draw it. Then the 3rd one, all right, cool. Dennis didn't know. That's cool. Yeah, it's like the 3rd one kind of confirms it. And most people, right? Yeah, 2, chief, that's fine. Rainy, 2, that's awesome. Good shit, because when we go into the charts, I'm going to actually go into it. I'm going to dive into it, right? But yeah, for those who don't know, wicks, candle bodies, whatever looks clean, all right? You need to make it look clean, and I'll show you a few clean and messy examples in a sec. But 2 touches, you can actually whip out the trend line and draw it. And then the 3rd one, like, makes it valid. So how could you use this? Like, if you think about it like this. If 2 makes it so you can draw it, and you're waiting for a 3rd time to come and touch it now, and to be honest with you, this is where I'd say, like, all right, this is not a touch. This is not really a touch, all right? Because these 2, I should have pulled that down a little bit more, but these are touches. That one didn't actually officially touch it, so yeah, you're still waiting for that actual touch and test. There's a few ways you could candle body cleaner than wick. Yeah, so I'll get into that as well, but I genuinely, if I can use the bodies, I'll use the bodies, because the wicks are just fake breakouts, right? Whatever, they're just wicking outside, coming back in. I'll get into all that stuff though, but right now I want to let you know 2 touches, you can draw your trend line, and then the 3rd one validates it. Now, what if I don't want to wait though? Do you know what I mean? So there's a few ways you can trade this now. You can be like, right, we got a trend line. Got to take it back to before price even got there. But I'm about to show you some shit now. I just don't know why it's not letting me. Damn, man, 2 seconds. Let me just refresh this page. Here we go. Fuck's sake, now it's letting me do it. Right, so there's a few ways we could approach this. We could have waited for price to get back to it, and the 3rd time look for our entry, which is a bearish engulfing candle right there. Like, and we'll get into that shit, right? I'm not really there to teach you about candles. I mean, it's a rejection. You do need to know what engulfing candles are, though, if you don't. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you know that that's a confirmation candle, right? So that purple candle's bigger than the blue one, and it's bouncing off a trend line. It's telling you, yo, like, I'm respecting this trend line. So for me, that's not enough. That, for a lot of people, that's enough. But I'm a breakout trader, so I have a scale down, because this is the 5 minute, I believe, and look for an even better entry, or upon my breakout line. So yeah, 3rd touch, valid. I put my breakout line, okay? This is the exact same trend line, exact same time frame. Boom. So it breaks. That's one way you can use it, right? Like, that's one way. Or with a brain like mine, which I don't like waiting too long and shit, this is the exact same trend line. So see this trend line now, this 5 minute trend line? This is the exact same trend line, but on the 1 minute time frame, and this move up is going to be this there. All right, so basically I'm anticipating that it comes back for that third tap. So this is where I said, if you've got 2 touches and you can draw a trend line, why wait for the third one? Technically, you know, if you can scale down and go up with it. So anticipating a pullback and a test of the 5-minute trend line, why wait? The 1-minute time frame is going to create bullish structure. Bullish structure, says they, for fuck's sake. Great stuff, Connor. You can't even spell. Bullish structure, right? So look, this is the pullback. This is that pullback in a bearish 5-minute trend all the way back to the trend line. And there's a couple of clean breaks there, do you know what I mean? So that's basically trading pullbacks. That's like counter trend trading. We'll jump on the charts and look for a few in a minute, but 1 if you get me, 2 if you're lost. I like that. I like that. I like that. And I don't mind seeing 2s, man. I want you to be real, but I think this is pretty clear, yeah? Awesome. This is why I'm trying to put it together about the multiple the multi time frame analysis kind of stuff. So 5-minute, 1 minute. So we had the 5 minutes. I'm anticipating this pullback. So this is one way we could have traded it, or this was me anticipating it and thinking, right, if it starts bullish structure now, we get our pullback. I'm on my way up. Plus, if created a bullish trend line on the way up to the bearish trend line. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like, I love it. I love that shit. How I draw trend lines, invalid and valid. So here we go. I'm going to jump on the trading view now. So let me just stop sharing this screen. Let's get onto the charts. I'd prefer it that way anyway. And let me know when you can see my chart, all right? I know you can't see it yet. Right, I'm assuming you can see my trading view now. Adam says no. Maybe it just took a little bit of time. Can you see it now, Ad? Yes, awesome. All right, so looking at this, oh, this isn't me even cherry picking. This is just GJ today. Literally right now, this is what's going on with price. So I love it when Rainy, you don't see my screen? Rainy, if you don't see my screen, just jump out and jump back in. I'll wait for you for a sec, yeah? Otherwise, I'll carry on. Yeah, all right, awesome, sweet. So I ain't even cherry picking this. This is awesome. Now, people get confused as well. They're like, where do I start my trend line? Like, do I start my trend line from the top of the move and then do this? And then, like, is that the break? People do this. Like, do you know what I mean? I've seen fucking Tory Trades, actually, which is a trend line break trader, that woman, I should say, right? And she does multiple shit. So she's just like, boop, a trend line there. Then I'll do a trend line there. And do you know what? It works for her, whatever. But for me, I'm looking for the most recent shit, all right? So right now, if I pull this back, to me, the most cleanest, and this is where we'll get into candle bodies. The Discord keeps freezing. Come on now, man. I hope that is not going to go fucking sideways. Because I'm in my zone. Is the Discord alright? It's fine, yeah? Alright, cool. Well, it is being recorded, so hopefully, if it does go a little bit sideways. Alright, sweet. So let's stay in the zone. So I would draw like bodies if I got a choice, right? So right now, you know, up until that point, right there it is. They'd be the bodies, right? So that to me would be fine. But as soon as it starts doing some shit like this, all right, and it's not even like there anymore, that's when I could kind of go, well, if I didn't get to that at that point in time, then I would just oh my bad, adjust my stuff like this and try and make it make sense. So as long as you get in touches, it makes sense. Also, another thing, just because at trend line gets broken, that doesn't mean there's a break of structure. Like, let me make that really clear. So a trend line can get broken, but the structure can still be valid, yeah? So that's what I mean when you're drawing trend lines and stuff. You might have drawn it like this and thought, damn, my trend line just got broken. You know, like if you're only using the trend line, you say, fuck, my trend line just got broken. It must be like switching now on me, or this trend line's invalid. And then the next candle comes back in and it carries on down because it actually didn't break structure. You know what I mean? Like it didn't break that swing. So there's the structure. And it didn't break the swing. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Sometimes trend lines, they get poked through and everyone's like, ah, shit. And then the next one, just so wait for the next candle. Basically what you want to see is a break and like a continuation before you just write the trend line off. All right, so that's a valid trend line. I'm trying to look for invalid, like when a trend line would be invalidated kind of thing. So you wouldn't start a trend line. Obviously there's no way to start a trend. So that's another thing too. If you're confused as well about where the trend line started, like this, just say we're doing this. Well, we know this is a consolidation, like a kind of range, right? Nothing really going on. So we can't really put a trend line there until it starts this stuff, until it actually starts doing this. Then we can look for a trend line. So boom, valid trend line, right? How have I drawn my trend line? I drawn it from the bodies, because to me, like if I draw it from there to there, it makes no sense because I'm missing this move there. I'm missing that little wick. So I'm going to involve the body and the wick. And that to me is cleaner now. Do you know what I mean? And you see, okay, it respected it once. It didn't really do a lot though. But let's go back to when it did respect it. Let's go back and see if there was even anything. Nah, not really. So didn't, but anyway, we're looking for an invalid one, right? So we're looking for when a trend line gets invalidated. So market structure, let's stick to the fucking script corner because you get well off track, mate. Support and resistance, trend line. So this is the structure right now for me, what I'm seeing. Boom, there. So until this level gets broken, then this trend line, oh my bad, this trend line's valid. Now the fucking trend line's invalid, right? Even though that looks like a liquidity sweep to me. But that's when I'd say the trend line's invalid because it broke the structure as well. Is everyone with me, yeah? Type 1 if you're with me. Awesome. Nice, nice. That's cool. So right now, as it goes, is invalid because it broke the structure, right? And actually, furthermore, for me, like even that's the proper structure. Sorry, so that was my bad. That like that there, like you're on all that purple candle is actually, like an internal little bit of a high, high, low, high. Do you know what I mean? That structure there. So invalid. All right, and then it does this. All right, so basically at that point I would have said that the trend line's no good anymore as soon as I seen that shit there, even though that to me just looks like a clean liquidity sweep. That is for, wait, what day is that? I think that's for tomorrow. I'm going to teach you about liquidity sweeps and how we target liquidity too. But yeah, up until that point it was clean. Any normal person's going to be like, I'm getting in now, that's a bullish engulfing. And then boom, this shit happens. It sweeps them out and then it carries on in their fucking favor anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, but that's for another lesson. I'm getting too ahead of myself. This is just about valid trend lines and invalid trend lines. Okay, so let's take another look. You can see them everywhere now though. See them everywhere. Definitely liquidity sweep, taking everyone's losses out. Yeah, you see that, right? You also trade this when it breaks out as well. How do you know it is a liquidity sweep or not? Well, that's what I was going to say about another lesson. But if you want me to just quickly give you why I would say that was a liquidity sweep, let me try and go back and find it. All right. Let's just quickly do it, though, because this is not for today's lesson. I want to keep us on trend lines. All right. So why is this move the sweep? Like, why am I so certain that that was the sweep? Can anyone tell me, right? Can anyone tell me why I was certain that that was the fucking sweep? Where was my trend line? Where did it begin? I don't even know where my trend line began. Was it from there? Yeah. So it did sweep the lower high. But what was more important to me? Like, what was more important to me to tell me that that was the sweep? I won't long you out and fucking make you guess a million things. Because right now, that might not be the liquidity sweep. Do you know what I mean? That might actually be a reversal. A lot of people type in. I'll tell you why, though. That's a blatant liquidity sweep. So it broke the lower high. No, you're correct. It come below an order block. That's also correct. All of these things are correct, but like, how would you know that it was a liquidity sweep? Because you couldn't just tell me at this point that it's a sweep of liquidity, and instead of telling me it's a breaker structure and it's going to carry on going down. Boom, Jamie Parker, you're kind of right. You are kind of right. The next candle, look at the next candle. That's why it's a liquidity sweep, because it clearly is still bullish. Like, how can the bears take control for this amount of time and then the bulls just say, nah, fuck you, I'm getting back in and I'm pushing a big bullish engulfing candle? So when you see liquidity sweeps, they happen rapid. Usually they happen fast. So like when a sweep of liquidity, you all know why liquidity gets swept, because you just said it's taking out lows, it's triggering people's buy orders. But like, it's the way that it acts. So for me, if the next candle was bearish, another candle was bearish, it could have been a change in direction, but the next one was bullish. It was a massive bullish one. So it was like genuinely laughing in your face and telling you, look, I've just taken you out and I'm still super bullish. You got to like look at what the candles are doing. So yeah, that's exactly what it did. It took people out of the game. Then it carried on. But don't worry, we got liquidity lessons this week. Tomorrow's going to be the hardest day. Tomorrow's going to be like fucking, I'm honestly putting it on you, like everything. Not everything, but yeah. Entry work, exit work, all of that stuff. Right now I just want to like drill it into your heads though, how to mark up a valid, support, sorry, for fuck's sake, my head's scrambled. Trend line. So all right, cool. That's valid, but then you could have also done this. To me, that's even more valid. So the more touches a trend line gets, the better. Okay, I started work at lesson time. I'll have to. Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. No problem. That's no problem at all. It'll be recorded for you. Go get that money. But no, the more touches on a trend line, the better. These wicks mean nothing because they're just wicks. Like they literally mean nothing. So if I was to have, all right, where could I have started my trend line? So at this point, right, people do this. That's super, super steep, man. Like, I mean, you can, and I've done it myself. But what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to touch that. I'm not even going to try and put a trend line there yet. I want to see an actual swing. This is where we got into swings, okay? So, do you trade breakout from trend line only, or do you want it to break your lines as well in support, resistance? Are you using extra confirmation sometimes? So this is the thing. This is why I want to just show you all of these things so you can like put it together in your head, like little building blocks. Like if you know market structure, you know external market structure, internal, the smaller stuff. If you know support and resistance, if you know the direction of the market and where liquidity, which we haven't got to yet, to lay in, like all of these things are going to give you confirmations. Like you're going to just look at the chart like I do and go, I can see a million ways that I could have won that trade. Do you know what I mean? But that's why I kind of trade, I don't know how to say it, a little bit different sometimes, but I try and stick to the same old concepts. Support and resistance, a trend. I barely draw trend lines, but I can just see it visually. I'm trying to teach you a lot though, you know, market structure and shit, and I know you know it, but right now I wouldn't put a trend line anyway. I mean, you could do this. It doesn't look too bad actually. On the 1 minute, it probably looks lovely. Yeah, it does. So there we go. This is another example of multi-time frame analysis. But for me, I want to actually see some swings. Like I want to see some proper structure. So yeah, that's decent. Really low volume. But I want to see like a proper pullback, okay? There we go. Like I genuinely start looking now. I could put my trend line and be like, right, there we go. So let's go back. That there is my second tap. That's why I would have drawn a trend line. That's my second tap there. Literally, that little touch there is my second tap. You could have drawn it like this, and you wouldn't be wrong. Do you know what I mean? But I genuinely choose bodies over wicks. Oh, look at that. Fuck. Actually, yeah. There's the second tap too. So look how many different ways there was to draw your trend line. At the end of the day, you're trying to look for a continuation or a break. So you see that? Another perfect example of how people would have been faked out. They would have been like, damn, my trend line's broken. It's invalid now. But is the structure broken though? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there a break of structure? Because if there's no break of structure, the trend line's fine. So this is where you could have looked through and gone, it broke through, didn't break structure. I'm going to go to my 1 minute time frame and I'm going to look for my breakout. All right. And don't worry, I'm going to teach you stop losses, entry work, all that shit. But you know, the safest place to always put a stop loss is below structure. Okay. So, what the fuck's blowing me up? Like, yeah. I hope you're getting this anyway. Wait for candle closure. That's another personal thing, man. But for breakout trading, for me, this is not a smash and grab strategy. This is one thing. This is what I'm going to say as well. I'm teaching you just like the steps towards breakout trading. Then is on you. Like, this is what day 5 is going to be for you to put together a plan and be like, do I want to wait for a confirmation candle, or do I just want to do what Connor does most of the time, which is get in early, never try to avoid a fake out, just manage it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I go from there. But like right now, there we go. Just take a look at that for a sec. Take a look at it. It still hasn't broken that structure over there. Like, this structure's still being respected. Even though it's ranging now, and it probably will get broken, it's still being respected. So the trend line was invalidated. That was invalidated ages ago. That shit went sideways. But this structure, look at this one bit of structure over there that stopped us from getting out of that trade. It held strong and is probably heading towards these highs. Not probably, definitely. Do you know what I mean? Sweep out the highs, change direction. Do you know what I mean? It's like breakout trading, man. It's fucking, there's so many ways to breakout trade. It's unbelievable. But wait there, 2 seconds. Let me just look at this. So where was we? Trend lines. Okay, so we're still just covering trends for a minute. Multi-time frame analysis, breakouts and stuff. So this, like, because obviously tomorrow is going to be the day we actually go over breakout strategies. So we're going to run through continuation breakout strategy, the way I would trade continuations. This is where your questions like, am I entering from volume? Am I waiting for confirmation candles? All of these things are going to be answered tomorrow, right? We're going to really go in entry and exit work, all of that stuff. And then even like risk management, even stop losses and stuff. Then the next day is going to be risk management and psychology. And then day 5, I want you to put it together. Like, I want to see a plan off each and every one of you. Do you know what I mean? Your step-by-step list. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I believe you all know how to trade breakouts. Like, it's just genuinely overthinking things. Do you know what I mean? Like, looking at this chart now is super easy for me to go, look at this. Like, I would have done this and I would have entered there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can say that now, but is actually getting them moves. All right, it looks perfect on bar replay mode. This be real, but in the live markets, we know it's a lot tougher. So oh, by the way, this isn't even the smash and grab like boot camp. This is just breakout trading in general. This is just what I know about breakouts. All right, I'm doing a whole smash and grab couple of hour video for you all anyway, but let's stick to this shit. So all right, today on GJ, if we were trading GJ, let's take a look at how I would have approached it. So we all know what this is, innit? We all know what this is. This is consolidation. This is range. This is what we don't want to go near. This is disgusting. We need to see some sort of clarity. So what time was this? 11:30 in the day. Is this today? Yeah, today. So now we got to break out. Now we got to retest. All right, this ain't even a break and retest part, whatever. But still, trend lines if you wanted to. So you could have done this and you would have been wrong. Or you can do what I like to do and use the bodies. All right, so bodies. We got some support and resistance. All right, clearly. Obviously, there's the support. That would be my target. Like I said earlier, it would have been up to us if we wanted to go to the 1 minute and look for an entry to go and retest that. And there it would have been. This literally would have been the opportunity. Oh shit. It did get there, but that was pretty close to coming to stopping us out. There's another opportunity there. Look at this, another breakout. All of this shit, fuck. I swear that's my fucking slide. Actually, am I just reteaching you the same shit? Wait, I swear that's my slide, bro. That looked way too thing. I'm pretty sure it is. All right, so all right, we cover trend lines. We've covered trends inside of trends. All right, let's do it on a higher time frame. Let's just show you how this shit works on higher time frames too. So, cool. We got a bullish trend line. All right. Let's make it make a little bit more sense. Let's make it clean. So, on higher time frames, like for me, the hour is a higher time frame. That's definitely a touch. All right. Could pull it to the body. Nothing wrong with that. Look, it's being really, really respected. So, look at this for the move back down. All right, because we've already made this trend line valid. Like, well, actually saying this is another interesting one. This trend line has just been touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, but would you count that as 6 touches, or would you just count it as one? Like right now, like what would you do? Yeah. One, right? A lot of people would be confused, like, but yeah, one touch for me, because it still haven't officially had that push, that fucking boop like this. Rainy, two. Listen, two's not wrong, because if you go to a lower time frame, there's hella touches on it, but on the 1 hour time frame, for me, this is still like a bearish trend, man. Like if I'm looking to the left of me right now, I can't even count this as the uptrend. So I still haven't had the switch in structure. Yeah, this is where structure comes into it. So let's take a little look. We've got no break of structure. So when we do get a break of structure and we get a fucking retest, boop, there we go. Like now I'd be saying to myself, I can draw a valid trend line there. Do you know what I mean? Like if I didn't already, I'd go, right now there's a valid trend line, whatever. There's my second touch, realistically. I mean, either that wick there, all right, or even if you didn't count that, you definitely count this whole thing. And I'm not just talking about like that little one wick there. I count this whole thing as like a test, me. So in my eyes, I'm looking at it and saying, there's the 2 tests. Like, do you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, you can do it your way. I'm just trying to show you how I would do it. All right. And once again, it's the same shit like we was doing on the 5 minute and the 1 minute, but this is the 1 hour. So now you're on the 1 hour time frame. You can go to the 5 minutes and you can look for your breakout entries. All right, which could be there, like we talk about, or it could be there. Do you know what I mean? and then you get your continuation. Or let's just even go to the 1 minute and let's take a look if we could have been really, really, really cheeky, like sniper shit. Like, this is how these people get crazy, crazy, crazy entries, right? Like fucking nuts, 1 to whatever's. So the 5 minute breakout is up there. 1 minute breakout right now is there. All right, now we can even move it there. So now there's the 1 minute breakout. Jonathan B. Burton just joined the academy. Did you hear the cha-ching? WAP's crazy, innit? That's what they do. They put the cha-ching sound effect on. I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking good to hear though. But so we got this going on too. And remember now, this is all on a 1 hour trend line. Like, we're really going under the microscope. We're getting involved. So 1 hour time frame is going up. We're looking for a breakout to the upside, literally on the 1 minute time frame. And all right, cool. There we go. So let's take a little look at it. Clearly was a sketchy entry because I would have entered this, definitely. So I could have entered there, maybe even on this wick. Now, where you put in your stop loss, below structure is always the safest place. Like, literally, if you put it below structure, it probably would have been fine. It would have been fine. And look at the difference though in the risk to reward by getting in on that sniper entry, right? Well, that's not even that fucking big actually. What am I talking about? That could have been big though if he was holding that shit. 1 to 10s. That's how you get a 1 to 10 anyway. From looking at a 1 hour trend line and getting in on a 1 minute time frame. So the possibilities are crazy. But let me take you back and show you that I know for a fact this is how I would have traded this shit. Alright, I would have been stopped out 100%. I would have been faked out on this entry. Because my stop loss ain't no way going to be there. So I would have got in on there and I would have been stopped out. Because my stop losses are tight as fuck. Especially when I'm doing an account flips. And then I would have been looking for my second entry. So we're like, fuck it, there it goes. There's the entry there. Do you know what I mean? That's even more of a sniper entry. So this is how you make big gains anyway, and you need some big balls as well. And no offense to the ladies in the group, like I'm not one of those fucking masculine pieces of shit. I respect you lot, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, look at that. Like, look at the possibility of it. Just take a look at it. A 1 to 25 if you know how to trade. Would I have done that? No. Could I have done that? 100%. And are you probably going to see me do some shit like that in the future? Yeah, because I love doing small account flips now. They're fun. But that's kind of what I'm trying to teach you anyway about multi-time frame analysis. So we was on a 1 hour time frame, just looking for a trend line to be respected. And you could have got in on a 5 minute, or you could have got in on a 1 minute. And you could have made a big gain in literally, this just be realistic and just say a day trade. So you could have got a 1 to 10 in here we go, 7 hours. 7 hours. I've held trades longer than 7 hours, believe me. But you know, when you're looking for liquidity and stuff, which we ain't on to yet, but like, let's just say the indicator was put on. Yeah, it's just going to go and sweep out liquidity before dropping dramatically. But that's how you get massive gains. So press 1 if you understand what I'm trying to say about multi-time frame analysis, using higher time frames and then getting in on the smaller ones, yeah? We can use those to our advantage if we want to. Janine, you're supposed to be in work. Oh, tomorrow at noon. Wait, who said they was going to work? Oh, maybe I didn't read it right. It's all good anyway. It's good to have you here. So, I literally don't want to pickle all your brains, right? I know you don't see me trade this way on YouTube a lot and stuff, but this is how I learned, though. This is how I learned. Like, this is what I was taught by my mentors. Just all this stuff, and then I put it together myself. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have taken these trades until now. I would have taken the trade when the trend line was broken. Yeah, like, I genuinely won you by the end of this Bootcamp to understand, you know, what a fake out is, why I don't avoid them, what liquidity sweeps is, all of that shit, right? I want to really build you up. That's why I want to go into detail as much as I can on these lives, so you can go back and watch them as many times as you want, because I know for a fact that right now it's not all going to sink in, but when you go back and you rewatch it and you rewatch it, I promise you the shit that I'm saying is going to sink in, and you're going to go, fuck, he just said something that clicked. Because it happened to me. Like, I was in loads of different academies and stuff, and it didn't ever click when I was watching it live. It was when I rerun the videos. Do you know what I mean? It takes a while for things to sink in, and that's just how it is. But anyway, the point of this lesson was to teach you about multi-time frame analysis, you know, advanced market structure, because this have it right. Like, this have it right now as well. I don't know if I've shown you this, but I did it on the Master the Basics, right? So for me, I include all of this. Like, a lot of traders out there do not include this little tiny purple candles as market structure, but I do, obviously, because if you go to the 5-minute time frame, like, that's clean market structure. So I have to take that into account, right? A lot of people wouldn't, though. They would just include the swings. So let's get back to the swings. This is the swing, yeah? This is the swing point. For me, this is a swing, you know, kind of there. If you can curve it, it's a swing, all right? But this there is not a swing. But do I count that as structure? 100%. So, yeah, that's the difference between me and a lot of traders. So my market structure is like this. All right, boop. When we break this level there, we're in an uptrend. We just broke it. There's the pullback. So now this is my new high. You see this? It's crazy. Let me get my lines out because it's too messy. It's too messy. Right, bop. So there we go. I use the candle bodies too. So until we break this level, we're in a downtrend. All right. As soon as we close above that level, candle body close, we're in an uptrend. We're in an uptrend. There we go. I am now looking for buys. Like, if I'm only following the higher time frame, right, the hour, I'm looking for buys. There's the break, there's the retest, there's the continuation. Does that make total sense to you? Like, tell me that, number one, that's clear as day. Like, do you know what I mean? I wasn't waiting for this wick. I was not waiting for the candle to close above the wick when a lot of people do. For me, there on the 1 hour, this is when the 1 hour structure changed, when the candle body closed above it. So question, like, why did it wick this specific area 3 times perfectly? It didn't wick the wick. Like, this is not where it wicked, because I'm telling you that's where the market structure is. So at that time, this was the wait, sorry, I'm getting confused now. This was the lower low, lower high. Yeah. All right. So that was the lower high. So as soon as that got broken and closed above, I just knew all I'm doing now is waiting for the retest. I get a retest. I don't trade this way. I mean, I do on lower time frames, but you could have done this if you was a day trader and you work and you can't afford to be in and out of trades. Do you know what I mean? Because this is also a bullish engulfing candle. That's your entry. And all that was a fucking switch in direction. But guess what it also is? A breakout trade. It's just a breakout trade. So many people would have been looking for more fair value gaps, this and that. Like, all right, oh shit, there's one more thing I need to cover before we end this lesson too. EMAs. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now. I gotta do it now. It's gonna be quick anyway, but like, EMAs, this would have definitely helped you. So 25 and 50 EMA, my favorite EMAs. Look at this shit and tell me this isn't artwork. Just look at it and admire it. Come on now. Fuck me. Like, honestly, the easiest strategy in the world, and it don't matter what time frame, right? If you look at it and go, we're clearly in a downtrend, it's respecting the EMA, you know, it hasn't broken structure. Boom. Step 1. It breaks structure and the EMA. All right, so you can count it as 2 steps. Now what are we looking for? A retest. There's the retest. We put a breakout line. Look at it. it didn't only reject the EMA, it printed a bullish engulfing candle too. So if you was waiting for those confirmations, that's your trade right there. Where are you targeting? Well, you're targeting liquidity, you're targeting market structure, all of this stuff there, do you know what I mean? And it gets taken out. So it's such an easy, like, you can trade anywhere you want, honestly. But let me just do one thing. Let me go down and let's take a little look. My bad. So I want to see if I could have got a sniper entry. Sniper entries. So 1 hour. Let's go to the 1 fucking minute. Boom. Oh, that's messy. That is messy. So let's go to the 5 minutes. Also messy. All right. But guess what? I'm seeing something. Like, my thought process is this. I'm seeing this. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm seeing that. That's pretty ugly. But you know what? Is it going to give me a sniper entry? Fuck yeah, it did. Do you know what I mean? Like, and if you know me, you know I do not wait for that candle close. So I'm like, right, I'm just getting in with the volume. You know what I mean? I got a little tight ass stop loss. And then I could, like on these account flip challenges, I could go to my 1 hour time frame and I can look for where it's going to go and sweep. And I know I haven't done nothing like this yet on the lives or anything like that, because I'm just in and out. But like, look at it. Look at that for some shit there. Potentially. 1 to 30s, man. And that's just from looking at the break of the structure on the 1 hour time frame. You know, knowing what you're looking for. It's crazy. It's nuts. Like, it's so easy. Run it back. Break a structure. Retest of a 25 EMA. I said a 25 or a 50, right? And let me show you why. So let me tell you what I would have chose too. So why would I choose a 25 over a 50? Because look, both of them worked out perfectly. Both of them. They rejected them both. But I like to see my EMA being tested. So this, to me, is not really testing it as much as I wanted to. I actually enjoy seeing the EMA getting, like, poked. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but I do. Boop. There we go. At this time, I'm not looking to the left. I'm not looking that far ahead. That's what a lot of traders do. They take all of this into consideration. It's like, just do this. Just look at this. This is all you're looking at. Recent stuff. Yeah, you can have both of them the same time if you want. But no, I just enjoy seeing the EMA being tested. And then, you know, like, look at this. Perfect rejection. Carries on to be a bullish engulfing candle. But for me, I'm not even waiting for that. I promise you, as soon as I get a break of structure, I'm looking for my sniper entries. We need to do a small account flip thing together, honestly, because that's when I hold my trades. So all right, cool. Let me just show you something as well. I did have one more slide for you, and then we can call it a day. Yeah. Would you enjoy that? Yeah, if we just all done a small account flip thingy together. Because look, win or lose. I told Warwick when he asked me, I was genuinely telling the truth. That 50 to 1,000 was my first attempt. I didn't attempt it a few times for a YouTube video. I genuinely did it in the first week. Is that going to happen again? I don't know. Maybe not. But it's £50. I'm willing to risk that every week for like 2 or 3 weeks. Imagine risking £50 for 4 weeks in a row. You lose 200, and then the 1 week you win the 1,000 or plus. It makes sense, right? But anyway, let me stop rambling. I got one more thing to show you. Let me just show you my little slide that I made. Okay. So you can watch this back and see. Cool. I got it how I wanted it now. Got it exactly how I wanted it. Alright, let's go. How do I share my screen with you lot now again? My bad. I should have this shit on lock by now. Right. Do you see my screen? Yeah, cool. Right, awesome. So use an EMA like a 25, which is literally my favorite one. I don't know why, but 25 and 50. If the 25 and the 50 is not being respected on any time frame, you know, from the 1 minute to the 1 hour, I don't want to know. Like, I even sometimes go to the 14 minute, but that's when I'll have to explain that, but that's when it's like really, really pushing in your favor, like, and just going crazy. And it's like, what is it respecting? It's like far from the 25. So then you go to like the 9 or the 14 but yeah, let's stick to the 25 and the 50. So this is for people who struggle with, you know, looking at the charts and seeing a clear trend. So this is a 25 EMA. Look at it. This is valid to me. It broke through, but look at the next candle. Boom, straight up bullish candle. So is valid. End of. I like to see that happen. A lot of people would think is invalid as soon as it closes below. Bruv. Silent. Right. But yeah. EMA test. Not invalid. Just because price crosses below or above an EMA doesn't mean that the trend is broken. That's 1,000,000% true. Price often tests the EMA during a pullback and then continues in the same direction. When I was a beginner, right, I promise you, every time that EMA used to get broken, it messed me up and I'd be like, the trend's done. But now I understand liquidity sweeps, continuations, all of that stuff, right, that we're going to get into tomorrow. But look at this. This is just testing the EMA. I mean, if you went to a 50 EMA, it'd probably give you way more breathing room, but you're not getting your test. So how can you enter? Because I'm only entering once the EMA has been tested, like broken above, retested, etc. If I was using a 50 or 100, I'd be waiting all day. Do you know what I mean? So let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. So a lot of people would think now, damn, like, look at it. It's fucked. It's closed. Do you know what I mean? I'm done with it. I don't want to know that we're not in an uptrend anymore, kind of thing. Boom, engulfing candle, breakout line, continuation, and that's the end of that slide. But pretty much that's the end of this lesson. Like, are you okay with this? Tell me, 1, if you understand, or 2, if I've confused the shit out of you. Because you can watch it back. Do you know what I mean? Awesome. I know I can be a little bit quick and ramble at times, but this is literally my first ever time doing a boot camp. Believe it or not, I'm pretty nervous. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I never get nervous on lives, but I'm like a little bit, I don't want to mess it up. Do you know what I mean? Because I need it to make sense to you lot. So then when I drop some homework on you tonight, you're going to like know what the fuck I'm talking about. Your explanations are awesome, bro. That's awesome, man. Honestly, just hearing that's a W for me. I'm so happy to hear that. Wicked. That's wicked. Honestly, as long as you think that it was money well spent, I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Because I've joined so many places where I've gone, damn, I just paid £1,000 to learn what a fucking support zone is. Do you know what I mean? Blessings to you all. Anyway, I'm not jumping up for a sec, so... Oh, no, actually I am. Yeah, no. That's the end of the lesson. So let me take some questions. If there's any questions, ask now, okay? And I'll answer them for you. If there's anything that confused you then and you need a little answer on. Are these lessons available to download going on holiday next week? Will be perfect for the flight time. Yes. Soon as this bootcamp's done, I'm getting a zip folder and you're all going to be able to download it. All right? And I'm going to keep the... course, the whole bootcamp thing in the Discord as well. All right. I paid for 5 OTs, 5 or 6 courses. This is great. It's so real. Also 2 times to trade with you per day. Yeah, nicer, man. Yeah, so you can actually put what you're learning into action. Yeah, because that's one thing I never had neither. Like I used to like trade with, learn how to trade from these people, and then I couldn't like live trade with them. It was frustrating. Can't wait to hear about how we should set our stops. Yeah. Let me just take a look and double check when that is. Day 1, basics. Day 2, trends and advanced market structure. We just covered that. Day 3, breakout strategies, entry and exit work. Now, day 4 is risk management and psychology, but tomorrow, entry and exit work is going to cover your stop losses, yeah? It's going to cover where I think you should put your stop losses, aggressive, the safest, all of that stuff. So yeah, the answer to your question is tomorrow we will be messing with stop losses and take profits. And, you know, why I use the CAFX Liquidity Pro. Is the EMA relevant for the smash and grab? Not really, because, well, yeah, it can be, but the smash and grab, we genuinely don't even care what the structure looks like. Before New York Open, the smash and grab's nuts. That's why I came up with it, because we just want to get in and get out. Like, we're literally trading fake outs most of the time. With us paying for the bootcamp, does this allow the premium Discord channel? Yeah. So you should have access now to everything in the premium for the rest of this month. And then the only thing you ain't going to have access to is one-on-one coaching calls. That's literally it. But otherwise, you got access to everything in the premium. All right. For the whole month, because I don't want to just kick you out after 5 days and be like, bye. I want you to like be with me for the month and like seeing me putting all these things that you've learned into action. Do you know what I mean? And then day 4, yeah, risk management and psychology, which is super important. I don't care how boring it is. You need to know how I dealt with you know, stopping over trading, why I actually make money now and I don't lose money every month. You need this shit. And day 5, putting it all together, which will be, you know, I'm going to put some pressure on you lot, I'm not going to lie. I need to see your plans. And then you get a certificate off me. You all get a certificate off me. 1,000,000%. Fancy ass looking little certificate. But no, I'm proud of you all for locking in, staying, and like I've noticed nobody's dropped out of the live. Only now because it's the end. But yeah, proud of you all sticking around, man. I must be doing a decent job. Thanks for the confidence boost as well. I'll jump off now and I'll drop the homework in the announcements page and I'll check the homework that I haven't ticked yet. It's not going to be nothing crazy. No problem, Janine, Spally, Chief, Michael Bonney, all of you. Malso Dope. Nah, thanks. Honestly, you lot build my confidence every single time I do a live. It's like I can just feel myself changing as a person, man. It's crazy. Thank you all, man. I appreciate you all. Yeah, wicked. This win together. I want us all winning together. I want you to all be disciplined and killing it. By the end of the month, you should be able to fly on your own. That's what I'm saying. But love and blessings, and I'll chuck the homework in now. End of day 5. Can you tell us your story? Fucking hell. That'd be a long ass story, man. I don't think I'm big enough for a documentary yet. Love back. Yeah, blessings to you all, man. Connor does a dance. I will. I'll do the Versace robe dance. Jokes. I'm not doing that. It's fucking cringe. I can't believe I said that. Bless. I'm ending it. Get ready for your homework.